flavors of carry that IO exceeds with, and what are they different, like what are they good at? So for the gyrocopter, the justification that I was told is that it's more mixed damage early on, more magic damage. You can take advantage of the mana regen more as a gyrocopter paired with an IO than you could with other cores. With Sven, I imagine something with move speed.
Well,
maybe?
I like Gyro earlier in the draft because he is like a mid gamer. So like obviously he turns into late game, but he's going to be participating in the game much earlier than a hero like Sven. So if you're going to pick Sven with IO, like I really hope they don't pick Sven here. I want it to scale like really well against whatever I see. I don't particularly care about the IO Sven combo. Like these heroes all work with IO.
But we've seen as well, like teams pick this IO, for example, Secret, and they're not pairing it with like the combos, right? It's just that lane support that provides the heal can then pair with someone else and be super active on the map, right? So in this type of game, I could easily see them picking up a standard carry, and then the IO after laning phase will then pivot into playing with, for example, like the Tiny, be super aggressive, go for the pickoffs, and like, for example, if they pick Sven here, it's just incredibly kited where if they jump someone, that there's Oracle ult, there's Phoenix Egg, the Ember should maybe be able to disconnect. Like, there's no way they should be picking this. I'm
down for Morphling right now, if they play it.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
It's a really nice Morphling game.
Why is Morphling like falling off the face of the earth?
He's just real slow.
Doesn't provide anything until later portions of the middle portions of the game, right? And
that sounds like a Spectre.
Like I think the
Spectre doesn't provide that much.
Well, when I say slow, I mean 280 move speed.
Oh, okay, I see.
I mean very slow.
Okay.
Well, like the patch I thought that was gonna do him in was when Agility didn't get move speed anymore. He literally lost like 40 move speed.
Good. Morphling's so annoying. When you're a position 5 and you look at Morphling and you go to gank him and he like goes all like. Seriously, guys, how much skill does it take to go all the way down to Agi? And then all the way back up to strength, and suddenly you found some HP. That is the most low-skilled mechanic in the game.
Morphling is incredibly hard to play, so if you're saying you're upset about some of his mechanics being easy...
no, it's way too... No. But in all seriousness, around the Morphling idea, I like the idea of it going maybe back to the mid lane rather than the side lane. I think just being able to push out the way with waveform, just play off your own defensive nature and get the early XP. I think that might be what Morphling teams might do, but...
I would love to see Mars here.
For NaVi?
For NaVi.
Sure,
Mars is actually like the only hero in the game that can protect against Morph because you can bulwark, and the Morph attacks will hit the bulwark instead of the Phoenix. I learned that the hard way with my carry not killing the egg. BKB Morph does not hit the egg; it just hits the Mars.
Nice. And also, if you relocate in, you chucking a ring down, you can't. You got to either cancel or you're dead.
So you're interested in protecting the egg, or is it more that you want more team fight? Like,
it's both. It gives you a stun. You already have like a lot of the other components of the game, and right now the reason why I liked Morph specifically is because it threatens the egg, and it's good against Ember. Ember's a great hero to morph into, and it doesn't really care about Oracle all that much. So the thing I am so shocked about here is Terrorblade I thought was on paper countered by Morphling.
Well, that's where the adjustment comes in, where it's more... Terrorblade has the better timings early on, and playing with your team, you can pace the Morphling. You can take those objectives easier. Of course, later into the game, when you're talking like 30, 40 minutes, Morphling will of course become TB, be more mobile, and he's just a better version. But in terms of like the main kind of meaty portion of the game, I think Terrorblade naturally just comes online a little bit quicker. And especially like in terms of the laning, right? You see Void Spirit Tiny, like this is going to be Void Spirit off lane potentially. Tiny for IO5, like where's that innate pressure coming into the lane to truly get rid of the Terrorblade?
It better be a Void Spirit mid. You saw the Ember, and you're not gonna.
True, that could be that
like
as well.
Your off laner, I don't think they should have saved their mid laner. I think they're gonna go something like Underlord. Timbersaw would have worked too. They banned Legion. I really like Underlord for HellRaisers, and I think
they banned out the Mars last.
Yeah, Mars is really good. If you've never seen that mechanic. It's actually unplayable against.
What do they go? What off lane do you think they go for now? They could go for... They themselves could go for Underlord, if anything, or a buyer obnoxious in lane. They can go for Centaur.
If they want to like kind of deny pick it, sure.
Yeah.
Thinking about what's annoying for Morphling. Batrider still in the pool? They could go Batrider.
So offlaners specifically that are annoying. Do you want annoying in lane? Do you want annoying?
Just both.
I'd rather
lane.
Obviously both. But what would be more important here? Because you've got a Terrorblade that you're saying has peaks and valleys versus a Morphling.
Yeah.
What's the timing for NaVi to ideally, hem HellRaisers into their base, start sieging high ground? Are we looking for a mid-game oriented team fight? Or are we just like, I'm going to just dump on you in the lane kind of offlaner?
I don't know if there are any offlaners that'll dump on IO more for the Phoenix.
No, yeah,
floor.
I think you're looking at like the skirmishes post-landing phase, 10 minutes, securing your ability to go Roshan around minute 18, there's Centaur, and then from minute 18 with that Aegis, just owning the map, taking over that Tri-Camp, taking away the Ancients, and just pressuring the Morphling to feel like he can't do anything.
Right now, 3 puck. Just do it.
I think if they go for puck, they have a very loosey-woosey lineup in which they will just be outmaneuvered by this Ember, who will just pivot around the map and just get what he wants, and I think NaVi will just take the win freely, unfortunately, Mr. BSJ.
Okay.
Well, what do you like about the puck then?
I was thinking some hero like that. That actually kind of like the
Slippery?
puck. The puck, yeah, slippery is basically what I was thinking. I mean, I like the puck better because it counters the Centaur Stampede away. The root's very good against Ember, and then it's also magical damage to burst the Terrorblade. I don't love the Weaver pick itself. It gives them another save. You know, I'm assuming it's a 3 Weaver. I guess it could... No, it actually could be offlane Void Spirit mid... Oh, yeah, they're going to do mid Morphling, offlane Void Spirit, carry Weaver against the Centaur. Yeah. Oh, okay, that actually makes a lot more sense that they're doing that. I, for whatever reason, just locked the Morphling into carry.
Yeah.
I'm locking these odds in. 2.28. HellRaisers 1.57 from EGB.com.
I think they have to snowball the lanes on HellRaisers based on that last pick. I thought they were going to like go for the out carry matchup with the Morphers Terrorblade, but they've gone all in on the lane counters.
Yeah, exactly that. I think I like the idea of put that Morphling to secure his game. The Weaver can play into Centaur. I'm just scared that eventually they're going to look at this TB, and if they haven't shot him down, where is the damage? You know, sure, Morph can become TB, it scary kills everyone else, but this TB just isn't ever going to die. There's no pressure really on stopping him from sundering. So I think overall, Na'Vi have the nicer draft where they can kind of play on the back foot and easily just play for HellRaisers to make that mistake. And once they do, I think Na'Vi should just take this.
I'll take the pub approach and say that there's no way I'd lose a pub if my mid-morph was a really good morph player. He was laning against an Ember and the carry was Terrorblade. So I'm basically saying I'm expecting my morph to be a baller morph player, meaning he's not just going to randomly die to some Oracle E when he's morphing.
To that 1 HP to get that 3 HP, which is absolutely
he's not going to do that at all.
Fingers crossed.
And if he doesn't do that, I got them.
All right. Well,
that's my stipulation.
We're going to see what these teams are capable of as I huck this lemon into the moon, and it'll eventually come down to another panel as we send it over to our casters for game number 1. Whoop!
HellRaisers. NaVi. Let the battle begin!
Hello back. Oh! My goodness, we weren't quite ready for that one there. Came in a bit too fast.
I saved you, Owen.
You did. You saved my life. Well, ladies and gentlemen, game 1 of HellRaisers versus NaVi. There we go. I'll give you that to play with. What do we reckon? The cost. Looking at the drafts, we've got, Morph TB coming out. We're getting our Weaver as the last pick. A bit of a surprise one, really. Not a hero that we're seeing a lot of. A hero that you think can work?
Possibly. I mean, Team Secret ran position 5 Weaver. It worked, but at the end of the day, they are Team Secret.
Yeah.
I'm kind of on BSJ in this one, where Morphling needs to completely pop off. And it's going to be Miposhka playing the Void Spirit.
Okay, so some support Void Spirit here from Miposhka. We'll see how that one plays out. So, of course, giving the core positions to the Tiny, Funnick playing this top lane Tiny, and indeed the Weaver as the position 1. So, I mean, Void Spirit sort of roaming around the map as the spot. Do you think this was the plan all along, or is this a change in what they want the heroes to do because of something that Navi's drafted against it?
I guess it's just a situation that they were in, trying to figure out, you know, how they're going to do it. Morphling is great against the Ember Spirit on a mid lane, of course. Morphling should get the complete free farm.
Yeah.
And you also want to have items and levels on Tiny. So this Oracle, Terrorblade's not a hero that has a lot of HP. Same goes for Ember and Phoenix. I mean, Phoenix strength gain is okay. It got reduced in the previous patch. But overall, you want to have an item on Tiny that, you know, just goes in and makes stuff happen.
And then over on the side of Na'Vi. Yeah, hopefully you ladies and gentlemen at home do hear the game sounds. We do not quite hear those at the moment. Na'Vi. Oh! There we go. The bot box are in. As we get ourselves into this first game. And over on the side of Na'Vi, I mean, what do you Do you prefer what NaVi's got going on? Like some of the panels said, you know, T-Gov saying this TB's going to have potential to have a pretty solid game.
TB plays into a Morph who's a mid, so that means that he's going to have to care about, you know, there's a bunch of burst potential coming out just from the Morphling and Tiny. And with the last pick Centaur, they have ways of protecting the egg. And of course, there's an Oracle just sitting behind the TB. So that's going to be always a scary part. First wave. All right, HR just playing aggressive into meta.
Yeah, not too scared at all of Crystallize. I guess just between the two of them, Kingar offering that little bit of sustain and regen. See Ilias try and make a bit of a move on Symphonic, but they're prepared for this. As HR don't mind taking a bit of a beating underneath the creeps. And this bottom lane, the safe lane Weaver. I mean, now what is the build on the carry Weaver? What sort of like what is your first item that you're looking towards? Are you still getting stats on this hero like the drums, or do you go for this like Diffusal or Maelstrom or Desta? Like, what is the item you want to be rushing on a Weaver in this patch?
I mean, you can just start with the standards, 2 raid bands, magical, and see how things happen, get the power threads, and then decide. You're playing into a hero that has a ton of armor, so you might consider getting something like a Maelstrom. It also helps up with clearing the illusions. They don't have that much AoE. Morphling doesn't deal well with those. They have Tiny, but at one point you're gonna need to have something more. And I remember them running a position 5 Void Spirit. It just rings a bell. I don't think it ended well.
Okay. Let's hope for HellRaisers' sake that it ends a little better here for them in game 1. And so far, top lane, I mean, Ilias, he's going to get quite a punch here from Funny, because Funny and Kingar, they're going to look for this first blood here. They may just get this. One more hit they can, but Ilias is able to find the Dukes through the trees. He's got a salve popped.
Relocate out. 2 minutes in.
Yeah, just wait in the trees, get a few more XP from the creeps. You'll be there. You'll hit the 6. They'll take the long walk around and Crystallize his farm. 10 for 3. He's still having a fine time up here. Not really too much being done by Funny and Kingar in terms of slowing down the Terrorblades farm. And the mid lane 30 for 4, 30 for 3. I mean, the first few waves, the Ember keeping up in farm with the Morphling. Morph hasn't actually managed to get like a significant amount of denies. Which we do sometimes see happening, the Morph taking over that matchup on the early few levels when it comes to last hitting.
Still, Ember doing much better than I expected.
Yeah.
You said, you know, Morphling just takes over, but considering how good Young G is playing right now, I've been really impressed the way Young G played throughout the tournament. I mean, NaVi's not been doing the greatest.
But his laning's been great, hasn't it?
Oh, Weaver.
Oh, that remnant pull,
Still dead.
Yeah, didn't save him. Did stop the double edge, but didn't matter. Immersion able to keep the spirits nicely placed onto Ego. Gets NaVi this first blood down on the bottom lane.
This bottom lane, if it's not going well, you're gonna need to rely on your mid-morph to do stuff. How's Tiny doing? 11, 12 CS against 14 on TB. They're catching up every single time meta is down. They need to start playing aggressive. And I see everyone just wants to buy a raindrop. This is the item that keeps you alive. It's about that regen sustain in the laning phase. Weaver bought one, but it was a bit too late.
We'll see again. I mean, just with an avalanche and a few punches, a lot of damage down. Bottom Pasha. Oh, he's gonna live there. Again, some nice moves from Immersion. Getting the Fire Spirits out onto Ego. Slowing his attack speed so he couldn't quite finish off the Centaur kill. And again, just getting him incredibly low in this lane. They're going to have to pop another salve here to keep Ego in the neighborhood, but already struggling to play into this Phoenix.
Weaver's going for 1-1-1 build, which means that your Shikuchi is going to be on cooldown for most of the time. You can't just use it aggressively. Level 1 Shikuchi, level 1 Swashbuckle, one of the worst spells you can use to play aggressive. You might put yourself in trouble.
I mean, oh, mid lane. Young G.
Young G.
He's, you know, he's honestly, as you say, 25-7, 19 for 6. This is, you know, this is just straight up outplay, right? This is Young G doing very well in a matchup that we've seen many mids folded.
This is definitely a matchup that he should not win.
Yeah.
He's playing extremely well. I mean, we're not just focusing on a mid lane. We're watching the other lanes as well. But considering how he's been playing, you know, he's pushing the wave onto the Morphling, getting the CS also underneath the tower. So far, so good. Getting the rune. No one's actually checking the rune. Also, that double damage did so much.
Yeah, I have to get a lot of denies, and Kasani's going to Yeah, have to be a little careful. The level's going to be good on this Ember. He's just going to be able to continue to just harass Kasani anytime that it comes near the wave.
And now Ember Spirit is level 6, which means that he can just TP out whenever he's low, even though he's full HP, full mana, refills the bottle, comes back to on lane, continues the pressure. I'm not a big fan of the Spirit Vessel build. We see more and more players just getting away from it on the mid Ember, but I think this game, it's a great item. You're playing against the Io, you're playing against the Morph. It also gives you tankiness and much more kill potential early on with just a Urn of Shadow charge.
Yeah, with the farm that he's getting, he's going to be able to get it nice and quickly, and also there's nothing to remove it right on HellRaisers' side. There's no sort of dispel or save, so you are going to get very good use out of it against these heroes that do so rely on their regen. Zhongji again, able to find the next power rune, regen rune as well, so he can play nice and aggressive. Look for situations where he's going to be able to get in and out of the fight. Still yet to really see any movements between the lanes, everything remaining relatively static.
After the recent changes to Centaur, we see more Centaurs if they're not playing against AM, when they just max out Aura and put 1 point in stun. In this kind of a lane, you want to go all in with the max damage output. No points in Aura, since you don't get the damage anymore to push the towers.
Yeah, with this sort of a build, it makes it, it means that Ego's got to be very careful when he tries to Shukuchi in aggressively. If they have detection down, he gets caught in a stomp and a double edge. That plus one of the Phoenix's spells, he's going to be dying every time before he hits 6 in this lane. So, meaning that Ego has to play very carefully, can't really rely on the Shukuchi to go for CS either. Has to get back, especially with Youngji making the moves. Youngji is going to be able to walk in, get the chains down to Miposhka, and that will be at least one of them by the looks of it. Does jump out to the side with the Dissimulate, and actually with TP over from King R, King R's in with the backup. They could turn. They'll look over towards Youngji. Miposhka being healed up. Another change comes out though, and there's the catch. Pasha just walks in with a Hoostop. They couldn't turn. They shouldn't have turned. NaVi were ready to blow them up, and those points and the skills as we were talking about from Pasha, just you got to be so careful running anywhere where this Centaur could turn up in the early game, as it's just so much magical damage and control.
HellRaisers, they have no stuns if they don't bring Tiny, so it's very hard. It's a position 5 Void Spirit, which means that, that Remnant's not going to be maxed out. The laning stage for them at the bottom was really not perfect. He's only level 4, 8 minutes in. I mean, you're not getting the skill, you might just get the rune. Nice one. Even though he would prefer anything else. Yeah, nothing to dispel,
Yeah, nothing too amazing here with the illusion. But still, he's going to feel good that he's got hold of all 3 of them so far with the spawns. They've had superior rune control. Down bottom, there's the setup. Very nicely done there as they lead in with the stomp. Follow-up chains. They've got more than enough to hold that Weaver in place and blow him up. And Ego's game starting to really take a hit down on this bottom lane, as NaVi are definitely putting pressure onto this Weaver early. They know that they've got a very solid way of shutting him down in the early game.
I'm afraid how they're going to make a move. They need a Blink Dagger on Tiny. This is their item. He just bought a full drums, I believe, just a recipe off, but very close to it, and he's getting some good levels on the top lane. You want to have those spells maxed out, join a team fight. I mean, it's a 4-0 for NaVi, but in terms of net worth, it's not even a full 1k gold lead for them.
Yeah, keeping it pretty even with the way that they've been able to CS, especially, as you say, in this top lane fighting, getting a lot of room. But yeah, when it comes to playmaking, HellRaisers is going to have a lot they need to do, whether it be trying to catch these elusive heroes like the Ember and the Centaur, or just, how are they going to get inside of the jungle of NaVi and start to slow down this Terrorblade? Because if they don't get over NaVi's side of the map, Crystallize will be able to just hit creeps and out-farm the cause of HellRaisers.
There's no real follow-up, unless they bring Tiny. And Tiny, for now on, just being on the top lane, dominating those creep waves.
Oh, dude, did you see that?
What did he do?
Do you like this?
What?
Morph Midas. Fan?
I noticed. I did not want to mention it.
Oh,
maybe he changes his mind.
Okay.
We've seen NIP, I believe, yesterday when they had Jug and Morph.
Yeah.
Jug went for Midas against the TB. Not very efficient item.
So, am I crazy? Is this something other Morphs have been doing, or?
I have not seen it.
No. Oh, bottom lane, Immersion. He will fall here. So HellRaisers able to get themselves their first kill on the board. But yeah, the Morph Midas will be done soon. A few hundred gold away from it. And we'll see if it pays off for Kasani. As well, pretty much most Morphs in this position, they would be buying what the Morbid Mask, hitting the jungle creeps. Kasani,
Have that sustain, yep. Whenever I see a different kind of item build, especially something like this one, I ask myself why.
Sure, like there's so many Morph games, there's so many people playing this here at the top level, and you've decided that they're wrong and you're right, and you're going for something different.
Just trying to stay positive here, you know, see the big picture, but the big picture just says greedy all over the plate.
Bottom, Pasha, he's able to get away with that.
If they can get away with that, you know, you're playing at the Oracle, so your shotgun can easily be mitigated by just one good Oracle play, and Dilias has been on point with his plays. They even used Egg.
Yeah, nicely done here. The setup allowing them to have enough time for the Egg to go off, still catch Funnick in the range of it all. Kasani, though, with this pressure, he has managed to take the tier 1 nice and early, 11 minutes in. Maposhka also by his side, that's the Midas out and done. Use it. There we go. So Midas up and running for the Morph. So Youngji, that's going to poke back, but yeah, not a lot that he can do here. In fact, Youngji's got to be a little careful. He's got that movement speed though, and has got Elise coming in from the side, so no further pressure going to be put onto this Ember. But yeah, I guess maybe this is the plan, you know, HellRaisers, as you say, in terms of making plays. A lot of it rides on the Tiny. They're just going to sort of leave that up to Funnick, and the other two cores, they're just going to farm.
If they can get away with it, and so far, so good. I mean, they only got 1 kill. He's 5.5k in terms of net worth. He can, you know, start getting the items. It's a lot of attack speed, 40 attack speed on that item.
Yeah, I mean, and 12 minutes in, just 5-1. Again, similar to the series beforehand, it's not the most action. Immersion will go down here. It's top lane. Funnick and Ego find him. So far on NaVi, only Immersion that's been the one to give up kills. NaVi have come in with the smoke towards top. See if they can set something up. They are going to need Youngji to go in and set things up with the chain.
And they're playing underneath the ward.
Youngji showing Funnick. Almost aware that there's maybe more behind, but it's gonna take the message here with Youngji showing that this isn't a place they want to push on for more, as NaVi clearly want to defend.
There needs to be a synergy between the items, between your heroes. Like Tiny getting a drums before, he does not want to get a blink dagger straight away here. He's playing that position 3, does not want to be just unblinking in, using a blink dagger, try to burst someone down, and you know, I'm gonna get 1 item since we're not gonna fight. Our Morph has a Midas, so let's just slow it down a bit.
Obviously bottom coming in with a relocate play, they'll be able to burst Crystallize. Nice read there from HellRaisers. Funnick with the setup. Bringing in Kasani at this stage, they're going to have a huge amount of magic burst to deal with the Terrorblade just between the Adaptive Strike and Funnick's combo. Crystallize is going to have to be a little more careful when he's coming out on the map. Obviously felt that he was safe in this area, but they did have a ward down, HellRaisers, so would have seen him step over the river and enter that camp. So nice punish there from HellRaisers to slow down Crystallize that little bit.
I was talking about Spirit Vessel Carrier on NaVi, so yeah, they have Phoenix, and he's getting a lot of farm. Bought a crown. Maybe there was like a bit of miscommunication there. Who's gonna get it? Like if you buy a crown as a first item, you want to get that Meteor Hammer as fast as possible. It's one of the best items right now you can get on Phoenix. But Ember Spirit decided to go for drums.
Yeah, going for the more standard, as you say. I mean, is it just sort of the nature of the item that the changes that's meant that it's fallen out of favor for like your mid laners to be the ones to build?
You need to buy something. Like, what do you buy with the 1500 gold? That's the question. Like, you can't start buying 4 raid bands or 4 bracers. You need to get a bigger item, even though it got nerfed. 2 less. It got nerfed, right? Yeah, it did. 2 less stats on the drums, but still. Great item, especially
across the board. It's the item to buy,
especially against the Phoenix. Like, they don't have the best egg hitters. You have Weaver, okay. Morphling is the one who's going to be doing the job, but if they're separated from the egg, you pop that drum and kill the egg. Midas, come on, very massive.
Here we got Midas. There we go. I mean, it's looking good, brother. He hasn't been punished for it at all. He's getting a lot, Kasani. 7,600. This Morph's free farm it's in a level that it wouldn't be if he didn't have that Midas. And NaVi's not really been able to do too much. They got those 5 kills early on, but things have have slowed down. Na'Vi almost showing that they want to play the slow game, rely on the farm from the Terrorblade. But Kasani's, he's just going to be able to be that bit more farm than the TB at this rate throughout the game if they don't do something about him.
I thought NaVi will be start grouping up earlier with the TB meta, pressuring the towers. So far, it did not happen. He only died once when he showed on the bottom lane. Now, just hitting the jungle creeps. And Morphling getting that Manta style. He sees Urn of Shadows being built on Phoenix. So once that, look at it, attack speed, Jesus.
I mean, if he farms fast between that and King R buffing him up, he just punches through the creeps. I mean, 15 minutes in, they're going to be able to put some damage onto this tier 2 top. Na'Vi's got to respond if they want to keep hold of it. They'll put the fortification, see if that's going to be enough to send HellRaisers back, as Kasani is still hovering around. At the same time, Aposhka and Funnick making the smoke movements down bottom, maybe seeing if they find Crystallize out here again in the same position. But Crystallize is back in his own triangle, keeping it a little safer.
Smoke and smoke.
And they're going to head over here, HellRaisers, and if anything, they will catch Crystallize on his own. The rest of Na'Vi elsewhere, but can these two heroes kill him off? They'll get him with the jump. Have they got enough burst? Crystallize, he gets the opportunity to turn and use the Sunder. They won't be able to finish him, and now the counterplay comes in from Na'Vi. Funnick will manage to TP out of there. Meposhka, he actually might just make it away as well, and he does. Meposhka with the Astral Step to the low ground and the TP out. Very nice disengage there from HellRaisers. Sure, unfortunate that they didn't kill Crystallize, but they don't lose anyone for it, and they do force a reaction from Na'Vi.
HellRaisers showing two heroes on the top lane, pressuring a tier 2 tower, so you don't expect this kind of a play. You know, Tiny and Void Spirit just playing a different part of the map.
Yeah.
They did not have reload ready, and this is something that they should be more aware of on side of Na'Vi. Tiny Tavo. Jesus, that's the name I've not heard in a while. So yeah, Tiny blinking in, using Avatar's combo into relocate. Should be enough to bring TB from 100 to 0.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, having that little extra bit will do it each and every time. Funnick, he's making quick plays with the blink straight over, has the ward down, he's got the vision, and he takes the life of Ilias. They're starting to make some good moves here, HellRaisers, and they're only getting further and further ahead. This Morph, I mean, you said it, once he has the Manta, it's going to be rather hard for Na'Vi to deal with him. Na'Vi have got to step it up a little bit. They're looking around mid. They are going to be able to finish this tier 1 tower off, but it's a similar time where they're already losing that tier 2 top. And the HellRaisers, they're going to have the opportunity of claiming both the outposts before the 20 minutes. They're even going to have the chance to maybe hold on to mid as Ego comes over with the TP. He's going to look to start pushing Na'Vi away. Extra TP's coming in. Aposhka, he's going to jump on the side. Will dodge the Houston there with the Dissimulate. Funnick in, looking for the Avalanche. Has got it onto the three of them. Toss the Centaur over to them, but Na'Vi's got the fight. Metamorphosis is popped. Crystallize, he's ready to fight back. They get the chains out onto Funnick. Funnick will fall. The tower does go down. So Na'Vi able to at least hold their ground, get a kill here with the meta of Crystallize, getting him involved. See if he can catch anything else here as Ego. He's been found. Have they got the burst? They haven't. Ego's able to pop the time lapse, and he's taken out to safety there as King R comes in with a relocate. Gets Ego to the side. Na'Vi, they've got to be prepared for this because HellRaisers, they're starting to close in. They may try and fight back. Are they going to bring the Weaver back in? They are. They want to try and continue this going. King R will fall for it. And, okay, they'll just Shikuchi away. They did bring the Weaver back, but no intentions to fight back there as the rest of them didn't want to turn and try and go in towards a fight where the Metamorphosis was still available and going.
I like the plan from HellRaisers to just go in, try to defend that tier 1 tower. All right, can he get out of this one? Dissimulate, not even gonna be casted.
Yeah, not
so
quite.
yeah, Weaver TPs to tier 1 tower, scouts things out with the bugs, gives the vision, but Tiny fails to do a full combo on one target, and then they immediately need to bail. I'm not liking the items that I'm seeing on Weaver. I saw Yasha being queued up, or thank God he changed it. Like Dragonlance, getting that Maelstrom, you know, just having some extra tankiness, and having more on your team, you can, you know, also go for more of a utility items on Weaver. You don't necessarily need to get damage. Since you have a carry, this should be
they'll get away with
rush for them. There's a ton of damage coming up from the illusions and the bugs.
Yeah, nice.
Midas.
I mean, that's always worse.
Someone drag a creep.
Oh no, the efficiency.
Would you use a waveform just to use Midas?
I would be out of that pit, Lacoste. I would be like, dude, we gotta wait. Can we just hold for a second? But they get themselves the Roshan. Aegis is theirs.
And HellRaisers, they're itemizing for the late game. You see Weaver's getting the items to get the damage. Tiny Echo Saber being queued up on him as well. So that means you're gonna have 3 scaling heroes, and you have this Void Spirit who goes in, creates a lot of chaos, scout things out, can easily get out without even dying.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how NaVi do as the game scales on, because clearly, you know, at the start they saw that the Morph was going for this Midas. They didn't punish it, you know, they weren't doing those moves, as you said, that they could have maybe gotten away with running down lanes very early with the TB Metamorphosis, and it has meant that Kasani's just continuing to farm. He's going to scale incredibly well, and still Crystallize is just sort of left in his wake. He's 3k behind as the TB.
This is a big kill if they can get him. They're gonna actually burst him down.
Let's see. Jump on King Art. That means a free escape for Kasani. Out of the 2 of them, not necessarily the big one. Sure, there would have been a relocate, but maybe they would have had a way to stop it. So, smoke move does push them off that top lane, but still not killing Kasani. He's out and continues to live.
Bet's still favoring NaVi. So very surprised to see that. I feel like HellRaisers are in control. We still did not see the full NaVi lineup going 5-man strong with the TB. Also, have we seen Oracle use ult this game? I don't think so.
No, I guess, I mean, there hasn't been too much action, and for the most part, he hasn't needed to. I mean, 2 of those times that NaVi actually lost heroes was Immersion, dying early in the lanes, and yeah, other than that, there hasn't been a situation where NaVi's just gone in as 5 and then popped the ults, you know, actually got usage out of the 6s when they were hit. Bottom lane. See Ego, able to get out with the time lapse, but Youngji's coming in, does have the follow-up chains. They'll have enough burst here to clear out the Weaver. NaVi will respond to HellRaisers, trying to take a poke towards the tier 1 bottom.
The Weaver is a very tough kill to get, but they have Clumsy Net, which is one of the best items you can get for tier 2. It's controlling so many heroes against the Morph, Void Spirit, Weaver, just holding them in place. And they also brought multiple dusts, which you need to have. After the time lapse, it dispels. Tiny brown boots into Echo Saber. I would love to see him just upgrading the boots, either power treads or phase boots.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely one of those things that, as I say, for me, it's when you're playing, it's always tempting because you're like, I don't want fancy boots when I could have my Echo Saber quicker, but it's just what it is, a lot of lost value, right, if you're not actually upgrading the boots to one of those 2.
It's a lot of damage, especially with the Echo Saber. You want to upgrade that item.
Trying for a sneaky grab down to Youngji, but the Remnant not quite able to catch him amongst the creeps. Youngji out, going for the BKB next after the drums and Maelstrom to make sure that he doesn't get threatened by the high magical burst of HellRaisers. HellRaisers, they're starting to push around on the bottom. Echo Saber done for Funix, so still a lot of burst. If he and the Morph can find their target, and Kasani, that E-Blade is only going to be coming in sooner and sooner. He's probably getting very close to it.
Aegis is gone in a minute and a half, so they want to take a fight right now. They want to get usage of that Aegis. He gets the tower, is going to have enough money to actually buy full E-Blade.
I mean, this Morph is super farmed. This is a very scary Morphling right now. As long as Kasani doesn't make any mistakes in these fights.
Doesn't even get the last hit on the tower. Okay, that range creep doing all the work. Every single time I'm trying to take away tower and there's a range creep, like I'm doing the math. I'm taking out the piece of paper, or let's see how much damage is he doing, waiting for that last hit.
Kasani didn't get the calculator out. Still, he's got his item, and HellRaisers there up on the high ground with this smoke. May catch NaVi off guard. See Pasha, ooh, he was prepared, or was he? He blinks back to what he thought would be safety, but there is the surprise waiting here from HellRaisers. Kasani trying to get in, Crystallize, comes in with the TP. They're having to pop the Stampede to reset. Pasha, he's in.
Done.
Burst Kasani the once, that's the Aegis gone over towards the high ground. He looks to push back Funix. Funix trying to run, but another Clumsy Net holds him down. Crystallize is able to get in reach of him. Funix trying to hide amongst the trees, but Crystallize will still find him. 2 kills for NaVi, and maybe even more as Kasani. He's being chased. They've got the chains control. He'll try and E-Blade himself in terms of safety, but there's so much magical damage coming out. He's burning. The Supernova Stun will catch him. NaVi, they punch back hard here, taking off the Aegis, killing off 3, maybe even more. Maposhka's trying to hide in the trees, but the Sunray from Immersion will find him. That's 4 dead as NaVi respond with a very strong hold around that tier 2.
The plan was to blink in on a Centaur and just try to go from the back lines, but they don't have enough damage. That's a Centaur with the full hood, a Bracer sitting on 2000 HP. You can't just bring him down with the tiny and position 5 Void Spirit from 100 to 0. There's no way.
Well, no, I mean, you saw HellRaisers. They felt they were going for the big brain play there, forcing him to back up and then coming in with a wraparound. But you just nowhere near enough damage to actually quite go for it. Maybe if they were able to catch him with that initial waveform, but once he was behind that tier 2 tower, the easiest of responses for Na'Vi to come in and that's sort of the scenarios you dream of as a Terrorblade, where the enemy team has just sort of dived in upon you. You just turn up prop meta and they've got to run. Crystallize is cleaning up. Now he's got a Skadi Manta Dragon Lance. This Terrorblade is going to be infinitely more scary to fight into. And in a game where Kasani, he was leading the way, Crystallize, he's all but caught up. He's back on an even. This Terrorblade, a very big issue now for HellRaisers, and as we saw there, Kasani's got to be careful how he overextends. This Spirit Vessel and the ability of Na'Vi to be able to turn and blow him up with the magical damage they have really threatens him in these fights. And Ego, still, he's just struggling to have much impact at all as the Weaver. He's 0, 4, and 2. Just not able to get much done as the carry Weaver this game.
Miposhka is involved in 1 kill. I mean, they have 4 kills, so that's like 25%, but still. You need to be doing more on the map, and I love the itemization from Crystallize in this game. Yasha into Skadi. Skadi just destroys Morphling. The new addition of the health reduction is insanely good.
Yeah.
I remember the game where Viking, they had Spectre with the Skadi, they had Spirit Vessel, and they had Shiva's Guard on one of their heroes when they were playing against the Morphling. Like, Morphling could not do shit.
You just can't hit right. And you're dead. You're dying. You're just constantly dying in the fights. Doesn't matter what button you press, how much stats you shift around, you are going to be dying throughout the entirety of that fight. And in terms of saves, the save from HellRaisers, it is the Aya with the heals. That's not going to be able to do much at all to help you against that sort of offense from Na'Vi. Best thing he can do is take you out of the fight. And if he's taking you out of the fight, you're retreating. You're not winning the fight. So definitely...
That's a great point, yeah. If you lose...
If you know,
you're not winning.
Yeah, if you leave the fight, you're losing the fight.
It's still one of the best feelings in Dota for me. You know, you kill one guy and then you feel they're weak and you start chasing them. This is the peak Dota for me. You know, kick them when they're down, kill the rest. I'm talking about Dota. You know, I'm not talking about real life. Kill anyone.
No,
don't get me wrong. I'm not psychopath.
Just in the game, you can kill as many people as you want in the game. That is, I'm not the aim. The aim is to destroy the enemy ancient, but kill as many people in the game on the way. There we go, Na'Vi. I mean, yeah, things just suddenly look a lot tougher for HellRaisers now. Down 5k. And, you know, despite Kasani having this very nice game, very nice farm on the Morph, it just feels like there's so much weight on him. But Na'Vi, they've got the counters, as we talked about in the items. And then when you look outside of the Morph, it's down to the Weaver. And then it's just very hard to see what this Weaver's actually going to do. This isn't a carry that lots of people are playing around with. What can it actually offer you? Mid lane, Kasani is getting gone on there. He will be able to take him out.
Oh, Rillo misses.
Okay, he's still in the area. They may think that he got out anyway. Yeah, it turns into immersion and will be able to dive out. But this Io, he's in a whole lot of trouble now as King Al comes back. And has a rude awakening here from Na'Vi, waiting to punish him as soon as he returns.
Seems like HellRaisers, they did have a bad read on how much farm TB has and how much damage he can do.
It just seems like, what do you do in this position if you're HellRaisers? Your strongest hero, the Morph, has a lot of things that are very hard for him to fight into. You don't really have anything else other than the Morphling this game. Sure, Funny had, you know, those couple of kills that he was able to hit when he got the good blink timing, but other than that, your Tiny and your Weaver, it's just how do these heroes play into Na'Vi's lineup?
Weaver's not having a game. Like, she's level 17 right now, BKB, yeah, these are some okay item, 4th on the network chart, same farm as Ember, but if you see what Weaver's doing compared to, let's say, Phoenix position 4, Phoenix does so many more things.
Yeah, you can feel it as well from Na'Vi that they know that they are in control of this one. Just holding the river, making sure that HellRaisers cannot get out to make any sort of moves, maintaining rune control. Crystallize Well, I'm happy to step up to the high ground. I mean, he just doesn't feel threatened right now. He knows that HellRaisers, they can't 100-0 him if they jump upon him. Kasani himself trying to get the Skadi done so he's at least got some sort of way to punch back reliably. Have a bit of right click on himself other than just the burst from the E-Blade. Pasha is going to find the jump in onto the Tiny. Funnick's in trouble. The Stampede pops as well. Funnick, can King Art do anything to save him? He will take him out in time with a reload. They got the Crystallize, focusing Ego trying to run. Young G looking for the chase. Won't be able to catch onto Funnick or King Art. They will both live. King Art, of course, he's going to be on his way back into the middle of them though and cannot tether out to safety. King Art will fall. Looks like Kasani tried to come close to offer up a tether target. It has to be careful though with Crystallize punching into him. And he'll step out of there. But again, it's just Na'Vi being able to do whatever they want on the map. Roshan's up. They'll head over for this. And you look at HellRaisers' lineup, there's no way they can fight into this Rosh. This is an easy Roshan for Na'Vi. The best thing they can hope for is maybe an Aegis steal.
Yeah, that's it. I was always wondering what R stands in King R's nickname, and now I know. Relocate.
Oh, there we go. And he's trying his best with them, but the King has died every time on the return. This Rosh, it just feels very hard for HellRaisers to do much right now. Like, and you can sort of feel it in the way they're playing. It's what do they do?
And they're so confident right now. They gave Aegis to their Ember Spirit. They feel that with Oracle behind him, TB cannot die. Holding a cheese for now is gonna have a full butterfly in a second, and gonna hit level 20.
That Crystallize is huge. It's bottom. There you go. Has got the time lapse in the BKB. Well, jump back up. BKB pops out. We'll keep him safe. Nothing to catch him through the BKB, but still, it's just Shikari Weaver having a BKB and run. It's kind of the best thing that you can do this game. Other than that, he can't do much at all. There's Na'Vi 10k lead. DD rune as well. Crystallized Manta Skadi. Here we go. So DD Terrorblade ready to go high ground in 50 seconds if Na'Vi want to play it to their best potential. Wait for the meta.
I feel they could still win a team fight with TB just being in a melee mode.
Sure, yeah.
Enchanted Quiver, that's a decent item on a Weaver who's kind of position 1 in this game, but I'm just not feeling it.
Oh, Funnick. What's he doing over it? He's dying by the looks of it. As they are starting to hemorrhage kills. Oh, Meposhka as well. It's getting a little sloppy now, Lacoste.
It is. Na'Vi did not get a single kill, I believe, for 20 minutes.
Na'Vi?
Sorry, HellRaisers. Oh, split push play.
Oh, hang on. Here we go. So they can't fight him, but they can go for the rat. And they do a little damage. It's something. They get something done objectively, but still, Na'Vi don't care. Terrorblade's going to come back. Crystallize will start to bring around that top lane with illusions, but he's going to be heading straight back towards mid. As we say, he's got that DD, got the meta, got the cheese, level 20. He is ready to go high ground because, you know, why not? He's that big right now that HellRaisers cannot really... I mean, they may not even be able to get to him. Na'Vi have a lot of ways to stop heroes from making the run towards him.
Pasha with the gem, so they can find Weaver. Time lapse already used. Pasha did not die a single time this game. I mean, there has to be one hero who didn't die one time.
That's good math.
Get the 4 kills. Also, look at the score, 420. Nice.
Nice. I'm sure the chat noticed that one immediately. They probably noticed that one when it was a few kills away. That's one of the fan favorites. As that's, yeah, it feels like the bottom lane just didn't really do much this game, right? Meposhka on the support Void Spirit. This Carrier Weaver, it just kind of did nothing this game.
Yeah, now I'm starting to remember that game that I talked about when they already played Position 5 Void Spirit, just getting the flashbacks. Pretty much the same outcome.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay, they got the Aegis.
Nice Aegis. I mean, they're getting the tier 3. They are losing a second set of racks, though, I believe, over on the other side of the base. But they're finding something in return. They got the tier 3 tower.
They stopped the TP.
Oh, and they killed Ilias, but it's going to come at the cost of Funnick losing his own life. But they got the... Kasani's doing it. He's doing it. He's getting trades. He did manage to take away the top set of racks. Maybe, you know, they cannot fight Na'Vi, But again, it's not a game about killing. It's a game about destroying the enemy's base. And they start to do at least a bit of that. Miposhka will fall outside of the base, but Kasani, he's coming in for the cleanup. He's able to find Pasha. Over towards Crystallize he goes. Crystallize starting to run. Crystallize turning to look to slow him down with the reflection. There's going to be a buyback from Ilias, and in fact, he's turning straight out of the morph. And as soon as he does so, KingR with the relocate will take the morphling out of there. Back up to the top lane.
This is the kind of play you need to do if you want to be in the game.
Yeah.
Because right now there was a 15k gold lead for Navi, now back to 12. They are only 1 racks down when you compared it. It's one of those plays, you know, that what do we do now? Like, we feel like we can't fight them, so try to force them, do something else. Full Shiva's Guard on Phoenix. These 3 items completely destroy Morphling. Shiva's, Scotty, and Spirit Vessel.
Oh, they've even got the double Shiva's Guard. Immersion's got one, and we've just had one picked up by the Ember as well, Young G. So
I just stacked them.
I mean, just the uptime, you know, play between the 2 of them. And the coverage as well in the fights. I mean, Na'Vi, they, you know, even for losing that top set of racks, they are 2 racks up, and it does seem to be as simple as just pushing out this top lane, looking to clean up the final 3rd set of racks from the base of HellRaisers.
In this kind of a game, I wish Vera went for more utility items, how the game developed. If she had Aghanim Scepter, I mean, Morph is the carry.
Yeah, you just sort of build all around Kasani. I mean, we are seeing the potential of Kasani when he did come into that last fight when Na'Vi were trying to retreat. He was able to get a couple of kills. I mean, it hasn't been the most sort of bloodthirsty game for HellRaisers, as you see 37 minutes in just 2-1 and 0 on your mid laner. Kasani, Kasani needs help. He needs help, and he needs it now. He's going to pop the BKB, turns over towards Pasha. We'll take out Pasha. Miposhka and Funnick jumping towards the back lines. They'll look towards Immersion, going for the Supernova. They can't take it out. They've got to run from Crystallize. Funnick trying to hide in the trees. Crystallize has got the reach, takes out a 3rd. It's a triple kill for him. Over to Kasani he goes. Kasani zips away with a waveform, trying to escape KingR. He's going to be back out in a second, but he's not going to get the chance to make it away as Immersion burns him down. Over to Kasani they go with the Vessel upon him. Ultra kills set up for Crystallize. And Na'Vi, they'll win another easy team fight, 28-7, 18k lead, and they can resume pushing in on this top lane.
If they take out this part of the equation, the outcome is going to be Na'Vi. They understand that, you know, there's no healing, there's no extra attack speed. Morph looks scary throughout the whole game, but, you know, TB just beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.